Hello, my name is Jared Parks, and I will be introducing the presentation Amazon Competition in the Global Marketplace. Amazon is a company that primarily operates in the retail space. However, it is much more than that. It's an information company, it's a technology company, and throughout the course of this presentation, we will present to you not only what they're currently doing to operate in the global marketplace, but what they can be doing to improve their market strategy and continue growing as a global business. I do feel like Amazon is a company that pretty much everybody in this class has either dealt with as a consumer or maybe as a topic of a past project or at least course material throughout this MBA program here at the University of Memphis. I am an avid Amazon user, and I think after this presentation, if you are not, you will at least be intrigued to at least try some of their services.
Amazon began as an online bookseller in 1998 and has since grown to be the #1 name in e-commerce, covering many markets and products. Their largest customer base is currently in the United States, but their eyes are set on other countries in order to maximize their footprint. But for Amazon to successfully globalize their services, they will have to overcome a number of obstacles. First is competition in the global marketplace. In the United States, Amazon has more than 60 fulfillment centers and distribution centers with approximately 50 million square feet of space, dwarfing its presence in any other country. For example, Germany and China are the next largest, and they have less than 10 million square feet of space each. Whereas in the past, Amazon was able to differentiate solely on the base of its massive online selection and low prices, its differentiation going forward increasingly depends on getting very close to customers, and only its scale in the United States enables the kind of innovations it's deploying here. Elsewhere, it just can't justify building the infrastructure necessary, and as such, its lack of scale and market share in other countries is actually a vicious circle that will likely prevent it from ever being able to match the services it provides in the United States, while local competitors with better scale and infrastructure in-country will march ahead. Amazon will be competing against other retailers in the global marketplace. A current line of Amazon, called Amazon Global Selling, connects retailers to millions of customers worldwide. From product listing to communicating with customers in local languages, converting currency, fulfilling international shipments, navigating customs and duties, this international marketplace is a one-stop shop for global retail and is one idea they have to maximize their global footprint. Secondly, the global e-commerce. While the United States growth outlook certainly looks promising, international markets can offer even higher potential in the long term. A lot of growth for Amazon will come from these markets where its presence is currently low. According to eMarketer, business-to-consumer e-commerce sales in the Asia-Pacific region increased by more than 33% in 2012, amounting to $332 billion. This figure is expected to grow by more than 30% in the coming years, amounting to over $433 billion. And this accounts for more than 1/3 of business-to-consumer e-commerce sales. Thirdly, to succeed globally, Amazon now has a business increasingly different by geography, with many of its newer services and features exclusive to particular geographic areas, even within the United States. A number of these services depend on building accompanying infrastructure, especially Amazon's own distribution and fulfillment centers. They also rely heavily on deals with partners such as retailers for Amazon Locker or the United States Postal Service for Sunday and same-day deliveries. These services are therefore increasingly tough to scale outside local delivery areas and especially hard to scale to new countries where those partners may not have any presence at all. Amazon's fulfillment network is particularly critical here. Lastly, Amazon would need to decrease costs via innovative delivery services. Online shopping is booming, for example in India, where millions of consumers are newly able to access the internet thanks to cheap smartphones. For Amazon, it is already the largest contributor of new customers outside the United States. But India's roads are choked, the city is cramped, The roadsides are hard to read. But in 2014, Amazon launched Easy Ship, which cuts out costs of storing, packing, and separately shipping goods. Orders are picked up by Amazon's crew directly from sellers, cutting out the time and cost of sending goods to a warehouse and the need for more space. 75% of India sellers now uses them. Another service introduced in India in May and considered for export to other markets, which is Seller Flex, allows sellers to have the flexibility to store goods and to ship them to customers on their own instead of routing them through Amazon. Amazon provides the technology and the training to ensure goods are packed, labeled, and delivered as the company would otherwise in the United States. In this image, you see the year-on-year revenue growth for Amazon. Even though you can see in 2014, international net sales totaled $33.5 billion, accounting for nearly 40% of total sales last year, revenue growth is still slower internationally than it is in North America. This pattern has been going on for some time, and it's all the more worrying because it's not like Amazon is failing to invest in this business or capture the margins at cost of growth. Here you see Amazon's operating margins for North America and international. Whereas the North American business has positive operating margins almost every quarter, the reverse is true for the international segment, which loses money almost every quarter. Given that Amazon's business is so much smaller internationally, with even more headroom for growth, this combination of slower growth and lower profits is pretty concerning.
Now let's discuss Amazon.com, the company itself. Founded in July of 1994, Amazon completed their IPO in May of 1997, now making them a publicly traded company. Headquartered in Seattle, Washington, they also have other locations, including fulfillment centers, customer service centers, and software development centers in 18 states of the U.S., including Tennessee, and 14 international locations. With over 97,000 full-time and part-time employees worldwide, Amazon drastically increases those numbers during the holiday season to meet the demand. Amazon's mission and vision statement is simple. They seek to be the Earth's most customer-centric company for 4 primary customer sets: consumers, sellers, enterprises, and content creators. The consumers are people who are looking for products or services every day. The sellers are those who are trying to sell their products or services to the consumers. The enterprises are the businesses and organizations that need Amazon to help them with their business. And content creators are those authors and producers of television shows and music content to be able to have an avenue to get their content to the public. Amazon has several goals. Rather than focusing on the competitor, they're focusing on their customer, and they consider themselves to be customer obsessed. They have a heartfelt passion for invention, a commitment to operational excellence. They want to enable career choice among their employees, and they have a willingness to think long term. Additionally, they want to continue to grow in the following 3 big ideas: Amazon Marketplace, Amazon Prime, and Amazon Web Services. Each of those will be discussed in depth later. Lastly, their goal is to find that 4th big idea. Amazon stakeholders are their primary customer sets, as discussed earlier in their mission and vision statement: sellers, enterprises, content creators, and consumers. In addition, Amazon provides services such as advertising services and co-branded credit card agreements to those enterprises and people looking to expand that way. That brings us to the man behind Amazon.com, President, CEO, and Chairman of the Board, Jeff Bezos. Bezos graduated summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa in electrical engineering and computer science from Princeton University in 1986. In 1999, he was named Times Magazine's Person of the Year. In addition to Amazon, Bezos is also the founder of an aerospace company, Blue Origin. Blue Origin is working to lower the cost and increase the safety of spaceflight, so humans can better continue exploring the solar system. As the list of products and services offered by Amazon.com continues to grow, Amazon Prime and Kindle continues to stand out. For $99 a month, anyone can gain access to Amazon Prime. This fee allows you access to certain content only available to Prime members, such as Prime Music and Prime Early Access. Prime Early Access gives Prime members the ability to receive one free new release a month, 30 days before it is released to the public. Prime Now is a same-day delivery service with a 2-hour window for certain products that Amazon sells in certain cities. Amazon's premier product is the Kindle. Now in the form of a tablet and an e-reader, the Kindle gives consumers the ability to be a part of the lending library, where you will allowed to lend or receive one free book a month out of the Kindle lending library. Kindle owners and people with the Kindle app are also able to purchase a subscription to Kindle Unlimited, which gives you unlimited borrowing from the Kindle Unlimited selection. Due to the success of Kindle, Amazon is developing a direct publishing division that gives authors the ability to publish their own content themselves without going to a big box publisher. Amazon is also acquiring the rights to archived and new titles to be offered on the Kindle device. Here are some additional products and services Amazon offers. They have decided to launch Amazon Fresh, which is a grocery delivery business available in certain areas. Amazon Web Services offers cloud computing, database services, data storage, networking, and other web-related services to their consumers. Amazon branded batteries, bedding, Bluetooth speakers, cell phones, and other electronic devices have also been developed. Within the last year, Amazon launched a line of household essentials called Amazon Elements. Other services that have also launched include Amazon Handmade, where sellers can go and sell handmade goods to the consumers. Amazon Home Services, which provides handyman services such as garage door installation and door installation plumbing services to the consumers. Prime Pantry, and the Dash button. The Dash button is very intriguing. Certain items such as Tide, Gain, those types of things, you can purchase a button for $4.99, and when you run low on that product, you affix the button to your washer or your dryer, and once you realize that you're running low, you press that Dash button and it automatically places an order for that item to be shipped to your home. Amazon always been family friendly, so they've introduced Amazon Free Time. It's a subscription-based services for parents to allow their children access to hundreds of children's books and television shows at a small fee.
Hi, this is Kyle Heineman. Does a competitive advantage exist for Amazon? When Amazon first started, the company strived to create a marketplace that not only sold low-priced goods, but also created a customer-centric web service that kept patrons coming back. The company had a temporary competitive advantage due to its efficiency. Owner Jeff Bezos sought to create a retailer that has a mastery over logistics, pairing robots and humans in a way that made fulfilling orders effortless. Currently, Amazon enjoys a competitive parity. Although Amazon has stretched its grasp of consumers across the globe, the entity has several competitors which now create the same economic value. In the US, eBay, Netflix, newcomer Jet.com, and a plethora of other retailers exist. China has retail giant Alibaba, which just recently saw one-day sales top $9 billion during Singles Day, where bachelors and bachelorettes celebrate mainly by purchasing themselves presents. Europe also has several US companies, such as Google and eBay, that have expanded into the region, taking potential sales away from the online retail giant. A ratio analysis allows us to compare Amazon to companies throughout the world markets. Altman Z is a simple accounting measure created to determine a firm's probability of failing and declaring bankruptcy. By combining several financial ratios, a more complete picture of a firm's economic performance is calculated. A score of less than 1.8 means a firm will fail. 1.8 to 3.0 means a firm will probably not fail. Greater than 3.0 lets investors know that the firm will not fail. Amazon is on the higher end of this scale of companies, yet Google tops them all. Return on assets is a ratio showing a company's earnings before interest and taxes. This ratio is used to indicate how effectively a company is at using its assets to generate earning before contractual obligations must be paid. Gross profit margin is a financial metric used to assess a firm's financial health by revealing the proportion of money left over from revenue after accounting for the cost of goods sold. The higher percentage, the more likely a competitive advantage exists. Greater than 40% can be related to a sustained competitive advantage. Less than 40%, but greater than 20%, equates to a competitive parity. Less than 20% shows no sustainable competitive advantage. Return on invested capital characterizes a firm's return for a given time. Positive ROIC values are desired to show that profit is being generated in excess of capital required for those investments. Compared to its competitors, Amazon has one of the lowest ROA and ROIC because it invests all of its profit back into the business. Tobin's Q is defined as the ratio of a firm's market value to the replacement cost of its assets. As in Amazon's case, high Q values usually mean that a stock is overvalued and a high-risk investment. After reviewing the numbers, one can surmise that while Amazon is on par with its competition, they still share a competitive parity. From the ratio analysis, we can see that Amazon takes time to invest much back into its businesses. Many companies work to gain a competitive advantage based on having a single successful product. Amazon takes the approach that innovation is needed to continue the business in the long term. Many times, when companies gain a competitive advantage, it only exists for a short period of time. The Amazon Kindle held a competitive advantage in the e-reader market, selling out within hours of its release. Today, ebooks can be accessed on a variety of devices, relieving the Kindle of the advantage it had. The retail giant has created several innovative products that did not always take the world by storm. The general public knows about Amazon's successful ventures. Amazon Prime is estimated to have between 50 to 70 million subscribers taking advantage of all the service has to offer. Users receive access to Prime Music, Prime Video, unlimited 2-day shipping, and early access to lightning deals, to name a few. Other products Amazon hit out of the ballpark were Amazon Web Services, a cloud infrastructure service toolbox for organizations, and Amazon Marketplace, which connects third-party vendors to Amazon.com shoppers. A few consumers may remember some of Amazon's flops. The most recent and biggest was the Amazon Fire Phone. Phones went on sale on July 2014. Fast forward to September 2015, and Amazon is no longer selling the device. Other less-known flops include Amazon Destinations, which uses the slogan, "Your first stop to book getaway destinations." Unfortunately, all destinations have become unavailable at this time. Amazon also missed the mark on Amazon Web Store. The service was slated to be the e-commerce solution for online stores. Now it is merely a dream. Amazon also started a venture called Amazon Auctions, aimed at competing with eBay. While the company did not take off, it did spur the relationship with suppliers that Amazon needs to bolster its now thriving Amazon Marketplace. Straight numbers and calculations are not the only factors used to determine firm performance and competitive advantage. Intangible resources and capabilities also need to be evaluated. These resources are productive assets that are difficult to observe, describe, and value, but nevertheless can have a significant effect on firm performance. Customer loyalty is hard to come by these days, but Amazon has us hook, line, and sinker. Amazon Prime is a big reason customers keep returning. Prime membership consists of 2 tiers, regular and student. Anyone can join this non-exclusive membership program for a mere $99 or $49 for students. Free shipping and streaming video for approximately $8.25 per month is a tempting deal. Many of us use online retailers to buy goods. When we arrive home and see a smile on the side of a package at our door, we instantly know that our Amazon shipment has arrived. Throughout the slideshow, viewers will notice an A on each slide, a symbol closely paired with all things Amazon. The online retail giant has taken all steps possible to make Amazon one of the top most recognizable brands in the nation and the world. Lastly, Amazon touts a unique website and item suggestion algorithm. Customers gain a continually changing shopping experience based on searches and purchases. Each of these intangible resources give Amazon an advantage on a global scale, but they are not enough to keep the company ahead in every market.
My name is Jed Todd, and I will be covering the SWOT analysis for Amazon.com and their globalization efforts. Amazon.com offers a large and diverse selection of merchandise. According to ExportX.com, as of last year, Amazon.com offered over 253 million items for sale in the United States and in excess of 100 million items in many European countries and Japan. With such a large selection, Amazon.com is able to meet the needs of many consumers looking to purchase from an online retailer. Also, Amazon.com's web services is a growing strength for the company. These include various cloud computing services such as networking, storage, and database services. According to VentureBeat.com, Amazon Web Services had revenues of almost $2.1 billion in the third quarter of 2015 and is used by some Fortune 500 companies. Thirdly, according to MWPVL.com, Amazon.com operates 75 distribution centers in North America and 74 more distribution centers internationally. With this number of distribution centers around the country, Amazon.com is able to offer expedited delivery options to many areas throughout the world, and in some cases offer same-day delivery to select markets and delivery within just a few hours to others. Lastly, for strengths, Amazon.com is also an established brand throughout North America, Europe, and select Asian markets. This will help the brand to grow in new foreign markets while people become more familiar and begin using Amazon.com more for their online purchases. This is especially true in markets with a high percentage of the population connected to the internet. In regard to weaknesses, Amazon.com operates on very thin margins. The company operates on thin margins because it sells items at such a low price. This allows the company to increase their market share but does not allow them to reap much profit after paying for the cost of the goods. This low price strategy is effectively hurting and helping the company at the same time. Secondly, Amazon.com has a presence primarily online. Lately, Amazon.com has opened small kiosks in the United States, mainly near universities, that sell various Amazon branded items. This has yet to occur overseas, where they maintain solely an online presence and have not opened any brick and mortar stores. This would be particularly helpful in markets that are not as connected to the internet. Also, Amazon.com has received negative publicity over the past several years, including criticism of their labor relations. An article from BusinessInsider.com talks about reports of how some Amazon.com warehouse workers are forced to work in conditions so hot some pass out, and also talks about how if an employee begins to cry while working, they are fired. Amazon also has been criticized for its position against labor unions, not wanting to give their employees a collective voice to make their concerns known. In addition to labor relations, Amazon.com has also been accused of removing competitors' products from its website, such as Apple TV and various other anti-competitive measures. With a company operating on such thin profit margins like Amazon, management needs to remedy these concerns to mitigate negative publicity and not give consumers reasons to make their purchases elsewhere. And lastly, Amazon.com offers free shipping to its Prime customers. For a company that already operates on thin profit margins, this is a missed opportunity to help increase profits. Unfortunately, Amazon has already implemented this policy of free shipping, and stopping this practice now would have negative consequences and hurt profits even more. And now for opportunities. Emerging markets present huge potential for Amazon.com if they are able to successfully penetrate these markets. Emerging markets are becoming increasingly more connected, and with low-cost tablets and smartphones, more consumers than ever have access to Amazon.com's websites and its products. Also, Amazon.com began selling everyday essential items under its own brand called Amazon Elements as of last year. These products are exclusive to Prime customers, and they could give Amazon a competitive advantage as their online competitors do not have similar in-house branded items. Amazon.com also sells their own brands of electronics items, which would help them improve profit margins since these are produced specifically for Amazon and cost them less than buying from wholesalers. Thirdly, Amazon.com has always been able to deliver products to their customers relatively quickly. Amazon Prime customers can receive 2-day shipping free with many products ordered. In some select markets, there's the option of same-day delivery and delivery within a few hours of orders being placed. This expedited delivery service could be expanded to more markets domestically and abroad, and since many of their largest competitors do not offer such services because it is costly to imitate, it can be a source of competitive advantage. Lastly, Amazon.com has recently begun to open small brick-and-mortar stores and kiosks in small markets in the U.S. Most of these have been on college campuses in smaller towns. These locations give Amazon.com a physical presence as consumers can walk in and browse around, and also gives those who would not have previously considered Amazon.com a way to talk to the employees firsthand. According to the HuffingtonPost.com, Amazon has also opened its own bookstore called Amazon Books, which seems a little odd considering they first got their start by taking sales from traditional bookstores. And now for threats. Amazon faces stiff competition online, domestically, and abroad. Domestically, Amazon.com faces challenges from companies like Walmart, Target, and their online websites, as well as eBay.com and Overstock.com. Abroad, some of their biggest rivals appear to be Alibaba and Rakuten. There's also the threat of strategic alliances among competitors, especially in new foreign markets, as the incumbents band together to try and keep Amazon from taking any meaningful market share in new areas. Also, online security is also a threat, and one that will persist for any online retailer, evidenced by the many instances of security breaches and hacks among different merchants. As Amazon.com moves into more markets, the threat of online security breaches of customers' information could become more prevalent. Amazon has thus far done well in protecting customers' information and will need to continue to do so to become successful in foreign markets and continue dominance on the home front. Thirdly, the Amazon Kindle has been a huge hit for Amazon.com. Because of its low cost, many people are able to afford a tablet when they otherwise couldn't afford an iPad or similar premium tablet. With the Kindle, Amazon gives their customers an easier way to access their website and purchase goods, as well as an incentive to purchase ebooks and movies, since they now have a method to enjoy the different media purchased from Amazon.com. There are increasingly more low-cost tablets hitting the markets, and if these become more mainstream, they could take market share from the Kindle and not give customers as easy access to Amazon's array of products. And lastly, there's also the threat of legislation for Amazon.com. According to Alternet.com, Amazon's revenues decrease in states where legislation has forced them to add sales tax to the price of their goods. A study was conducted of households before Amazon.com started collecting taxes, and a study conducted after they collected the taxes, showing that these households cut their spending on Amazon.com from an average of 10 to 24% after the legislation was enacted.
The business strategy of a firm outlines how they gain and sustain competitive advantage in the marketplace. The two general business strategies are cost leadership and product differentiation. The next few slides will explain why Amazon's primary strategy is cost leadership, but they also attempt to differentiate themselves through their products and services. Amazon has more than 10,000 plus vendors and 75% of repeat purchasers. They've built an impressive network of warehouses that were originally for book selling, but they've grown to match their increasing product lines. Amazon doesn't suffer from diseconomies of scale or the kinds of physical limitations that smaller corporations face in manufacturing processes. Thanks to their economies of scale and the sheer volume of production that Amazon sees daily, they can keep their cost leadership up. First, they can use specialized manufacturing tools like this new strategy for consumer packaged goods. Second, because their production is higher, they can build larger manufacturing operations, or more specifically, create space in suppliers' warehouses. This lower per unit cost leads to lower average cost of production. Third, Amazon's costs are lower because employees can specialize in a narrow task rather than have to play multiple roles in the manufacturing process. Lastly, overhead costs are spread between more units. Amazon's cost structure is lower than any of its competitors, and it's considered to be one of its secrets. They spend 3 more times than the top 5 competitors put together on R&D. This results in a breakthrough efficiency and effectiveness model. It includes search improvements and removing 88% of the reasons users stop an online shopping search. When you think about Porter's 5 forces, Amazon is able to maintain their cost leadership strategy because they're able to attack all 5 of the forces. Let's talk about the threat of substitutes. So they're able to keep their prices low, so there aren't many substitutes for Amazon. Threat of suppliers. Their large volume. This implies that there's also a large cost of materials and overhead, so suppliers aren't really willing to jeopardize the sales that go with entering that market or losing Amazon as a customer. Threat of buyers. Buyers can be a threat because backwards vertical integration. Powerful buyers are usually not willing to stop purchasing from low-cost suppliers like Amazon. And another big thing of threat of entry, new entrants would have to make heavy capital investments in order to compete with Amazon's superior automation technology. Amazon really embraces the threat of rivalry with its competitors. It takes it head on with its competitive suppliers. In a recent strategybusiness.com article, they said if you can't beat them, work with them, and Amazon really does just that. So if you think about the volume that Amazon does with third-party merchants, in 2004 it was 2 billion items, and this was about 2 million businesses that they were doing business with. That's about 10 million customers during the 2014 holiday season were using the $99 annual Prime unlimited shipping service for the first time. 39% of sales are from outside merchants. This is as of 2012. Last year, this was the last year that they reported this data. Amazon is able to create economies of scale by its huge network of warehouses with its suppliers. Its network of warehouses has grown to match the increase in product lines. Smaller corporations face limitations in their manufacturing process, and they realize that it could cost them a huge amount in capital investment, so they outsource these services to Amazon. And the multiple locations of fulfillment centers allow for the tight delivery commitments. It generates revenue from third-party sellers through a service they call Fulfillment by Amazon, also known as FBA. This helps handle third-party sellers' back-end operations. So in order to use this service, third-party sellers, they ship their inventory to Amazon. They pay Amazon for storage, the weight handling, and their pack and pick operations, or pick and pack. Amazon then manages their entire back-end operations. That includes storage, customer order fulfillment, and customer service. These products also qualify for Amazon's free shipping programs, known as Amazon Prime, while this service provides Amazon more data to optimize its entry strategy. Amazon already handles most of the logistics for these products anyway, so direct entry would give them a limited opportunity to improve the quality of customer service for the products. One thing that Amazon really has to be aware of is the managerial diseconomies of scale that can be associated with growing too big. Fortunately, Amazon's org structure is what we call a U-shaped org structure, which helps it to maintain its competitive advantage and cost leadership by reducing the amount of operational silos that it has.
In this section, I will be discussing corporate strategy, and we will talk about not only what they're currently doing, but what the future holds from a corporate strategic perspective for Amazon. Vertical integration in Amazon is something that they are continuing to work to develop in order to bolster their position as a market leader in the retail space. In addition to the retail space, they're also focusing on information and technology as a corporate business strategy to continue to grow and develop in the global marketplace. Just kind of hitting on some of the bullet points here, acquiring rights to archive the new title specifically for Kindle. The Kindle is one of the first devices Amazon came up with, and it's one of their most successful. In the e-reader marketplace, it's one of the most successful. It has benefits not only to users um, in younger to middle age range, but also to the elderly who prefer to use it rather than regular books because of the ability to increase the font size and the lighting behind the wording so that it's easy to read. Developing a direct publishing division is something that Amazon has done. And in fact, it's something that covers all genres, and it's great for aspiring writers as well. One of the most interesting pieces for vertical integration is the potential and rumors to create own shipping division, cutting out UPS and FedEx. In fact, today on 11/29 on Twitter, I saw TechCrunch. Their Twitter handle is @TechCrunch released an article kind of displaying the new Amazon Prime drone, and it's bigger. It can land and take off vertically. It can reach up to 15 miles from its original destination. From its origination point to a destination, and it can go up to 55 miles an hour. It still has to overcome some FAA regulations, which the FAA is supposed to be releasing the regulations for commercial drones in the next year. So that's a big point for Amazon and their ability to use drones in delivering their products. This ties in with Amazon Prime creating their own programs in-house, because the Amazon Prime drone can deliver anything that they could within 15 miles of a distribution center for these new programs, the most important of which is Amazon Prime Now. I am a user. I have used it. It is very impressive. The app is incredibly easy to use. It does, in fact, offer 2-hour same-day delivery windows, and in fact, every time I've used it, it's been within an hour and a half. And basically, we used it for consumer goods. Anything that I would have gone to Target or Walmart or Kroger, Publix, etc. for, I could have gotten there with the exception of produce. So we're talking toilet paper, deodorant, etc. The kind of things you can get from Amazon Prime at a price point which is relatively similar to what you would find at any of those locations, including with coupons. Diversification for Amazon is very important. On this slide, I'll detail a few bullet points and also add some additional information. Uh, Amazon has entered into the grocery business with Amazon Fresh. They have also continued to develop their web services, which is very important in the future of Amazon with cloud computing, database services, data storage, and networking. Amazon branded batteries, bedding, Bluetooth speakers, cell phones, and other products is among the Amazon labeled products that they're continuing to push through their Amazon network. Within the last year, Amazon launched a line of household essentials called Amazon Elements. And this is very important because, not only with this bullet point, but with the prior one in regards to branded products, the more Amazon products they get out there, the better margins they're making. They're not just acting as a pass through for other vendors. Amazon has also launched other services, including Handmade, Amazon Home Services, Prime Pantry, and the Dash Button. I think everything on this slide is very important, but I will harp on, the fact with the last point here, Prime Pantry and some of the other service offerings are very important because it continues Amazon's push to speed up and alleviate consumers having to go to grocery stores and spend the time walking through aisles and aisles of stuff they don't need just to get to where they want to get to. They're also speeding up that lead time in between ordering something and getting it there. Amazon Prime Now, which has been mentioned, is something that's very important with 2-hour delivery windows. Amazon Prime has 2-day delivery as part of its regular offering. And this is just continued support for that moving forward for Amazon in their retail business. Here's a follow-up slide for diversification with Amazon. Just some really final 3 bullet points here. They have a partnership with Procter & Gamble that allows Amazon to use the Procter & Gamble warehouses for quicker and cheaper product distribution, just further supporting their push to really speed up the delivery times for their consumers once they order products. Another important note is their alliance with Facebook to make online shopping more of a social experience. You see this a lot across retail, but I think it's really unique with Amazon because they just offer such a unique variation of products to their consumers. The benefits here are pretty obvious. I mean, anytime you get people talking about your brand or your product that's of benefit, word of mouth is very beneficial, even in 2015 when social media is such a big deal. The use of Facebook is very important to Amazon, and I think this is going to be a long-term benefit for them. 2 other items of specific note for Amazon is one is an alliance with 6 other leading technology companies for open media that will develop next generation media formats. This is very important as they continue to push for the future and develop as an organization. Again, I don't think this can be said enough in this presentation. Amazon is not a retail business. They're a technology company that moves products, and I think as time goes on, you will see this more and more prevalent. And I think the alliance with 6 new technology companies just kind of further cements that. Recently, Amazon aligned with Oprah Winfrey to host her famous Oprah's Favorite Things list. This is important not only just because Oprah Winfrey has a solid following and it's increased consumer base, but I think it's a little bit of a different market than Amazon is used to, and I also think just kind of anytime you compare with someone like an Oprah Winfrey, it cannot hurt your business. And this is just another way that Amazon is kind of growing with the pop culture and continuing to develop their customer base. Mergers and acquisitions with Amazon is not only has it already been very important to their business model, but I think it will continue to be as time moves on. But Amazon has acquired a total of 29 companies. I think one of the most important is going to be Kiva Systems, the robotics manufacturer that services warehouses. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and we have a distribution facility just southeast of here in Murfreesboro. And they utilize the robotics in their facility. and it definitely makes the pick pack process a lot easier. For those not familiar with pick pack, that's the simple process of you receive an order and you have to move around the warehouse to pick the various items and then make sure they're packaged correctly and then shipped out. For a company like Amazon that has such a diversified inventory, especially at any one of these large warehouse facilities you'll see around the country. This is very important. This can speed up not only just the time it takes to pack an order, but the accuracy. When you insert humans into some of these scenarios, the margin of error increases. Anytime you can kind of reduce that margin of error, it just increases the performance of your business, and your customers rely on you even more and more. Another area for mergers and acquisitions, Elemental Technologies, pairing with local cloud infrastructure. And I think this is also going to tie into the fourth one, Bot2Lometry for the AWS Kinesis service, which provides real-time processing for massive data streams, including data produced by lot devices and sensors. They're an Internet of Things platform, and it ties people, processes, and data together. When you're a company like Amazon and you have massive amounts of data yourself that you can provide, you can give that to companies, whether it's just market data on who's buying your product, where they are, etc. They really do have an opportunity not only to continue to develop as a retail business, but more importantly for them as an internet company. I'm sorry, as a technology company moving forward.
Recommendations for Amazon to succeed with their globalization efforts. Is for the company to focus their efforts on a few select countries at a time instead of trying to enter multiple markets. This is because if Amazon tries to focus on too many at once, the company could spread itself too thin and not be able to differentiate itself between many of the incumbent and established competitors of these new markets. 95% of Amazon.com's revenues come from their North American region, plus the countries of Germany, UK, and Japan. If Amazon wants to succeed with globalization, it should focus primarily on Eastern Europe, where a large percentage of the population is connected to the internet, and they have already built up a following in the UK and Germany. Another recommendation for Amazon.com to be successful with their globalization efforts is for the company to build more fulfillment and distribution centers abroad. By building more fulfillment centers abroad, Amazon.com can offer delivery of customers' items more quickly. This is much like certain areas in the United States where Amazon.com is able to deliver items to their customers in certain geographic regions within just a few hours, reaching even more consumers by offering same-day delivery. If Amazon.com can offer the same expedited delivery service abroad that it does domestically, this is likely to lead to repeat business and loyalty. This would also build more trust in new markets as these centers would employ the local population.
So in closing, throughout this presentation, we've covered a number of areas